I got 3 trains ran on me in 1 week by 3 different niggas each time.
Cross, nigga. Ain't nobody picking them up.
We listen, but we don't judge. When I was 15, I had snuck some niggas in my dad's house. They stole my sister's tablet, and I was looking under the couch like I ain't know where it was at, but I knew they had stole her tablet, so I had to act like I ain't know. We listen and we don't judge. When I was 10, I had found a corn collection in my brother's room. He was like in his 30s by that time. And I used to steal the CDs like the...
Thank you, AT, for the sub. ATT.
ATT, shout out ATT. Like the Nymphomaniac Volume 3 and the Brown Sugar Volume 2. I stole them and then I would watch them. And then when he asked what happened... When I was 16, I got 3 trains ran on me in 1 week by 3 different niggas each time.
Shalom. Call halal YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. That's giving all praise to the Most High, in name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to our teachers, the elders, and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us His truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. Shalom to 144,000. Real quick, as you see in this video, somebody said this somebody baby mama. Alright. This place is through. Alright. And this is why, you know, another example of why we married our daughters off young. Okay. Or your daughters got married off young. Alright. And you see this individual on the screen. Look how she looking when she say that demonic shit she say about what she did when she was 16. See how she got the umbrellas on, the way she look into the camera. It's completely wicked, man. Alright. But this is what's, you know, acceptable here in America. This is okay in America. And you got these other camps that still, you know, are immature concerning the scriptures on the flower of a woman's age. When a woman gets her period, a young girl gets her period, she becomes a young woman. All right. That's the Most High saying that she is able. Well, that's the Most High saying that she has now become a young woman. They showed you that in one of those older shows. I believe it was the Bill Cosby show or something like that. And when Raven Simone's character, when she was a little girl, when she got her period, the mom told her, "This is your body is changing. This means you're becoming a young woman." All right. So when these young women, these young girls, become young women, you know, they get, as Jacob say down here in the South, they get fast in the ass. All right. They out here looking for boys. All right. They start to get hot down there. It's like a dog in heat. You ever seen a dog in heat? She you know, a dog that's in heat would be in the neighborhood, getting cracked by all the other dogs. And this is how our women have become, okay, because we have fallen away from the way, the ancient ways, the old past, okay, whereas the good way. So when we will marry our daughters off young, that was just that. It wasn't no 18, 21, because as this woman said, she was 16 getting 3 trans ran on her in 1 week by different guys. So if you think about that, that's 3 different guys per session, okay, and then 3 times 3 different guys. That's over 9. That's 9 guys in 1 week, okay. And this is the truth about our community, about Jake. You know, in this society, they have completely fallen away from the way of righteousness. And now you may see you may meet a woman in her 20s. She done had 100 men, okay. And how? Because they rack it up. They racking up, man. Okay, in the school bathrooms, on the bus, you know, at the park, after school. And I know because I was once a young man, you know, chasing these young girls. All right. I know. All right. So this is the reality. All right. Now, the fact that she was doing trains at 16 is completely ridiculous. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. But this is how far. And it gets worse as time goes on. Okay. But they say we listen and we don't judge. No, the Lord is going to judge you individuals, man. Okay. With thermonuclear fire, with death and destruction. This individual is not fit to be a wife. Okay. At 16, you was doing that. And they think it's funny. So let's grab a few precepts. I'm not going to make this too long. It says, this is Amos chapter 7, verse 17. It says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahawah, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city." Okay. And this is what happened when you meet these women nowadays. You meet a woman, You know, she probably got an OnlyFans. She probably all over the internet. You know, new thing is these women be showing their bodies all over the internet, all over Twitter. Okay, these women are, you know, completely through. And you might meet a woman out in public and you might not know what she's doing behind closed doors or what she's doing on the internet. But the whole time she's a complete harlot. Okay? It says, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land. This is what happened to us because we disobeyed the Lord. It says, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. And this is, you know, what's happened to us. This is the reality that we're living in right now. In the NLT it says, but this is what the Lord says. Your wife will become a prostitute in the city. You got young girls, before they even try to get a job at McDonald's, before they even try to go, you know, work at a fast food joint, they out there selling their behind. You know, I've heard stories of girls 18, 19, you know, already, you know, doing meetups and selling their behind. All right, this is wickedness, but this is why the Lord got to come and set things back in His righteous order. Okay, this place is out of whack. YAHAWASHI has to destroy America and start all over again with a righteous kingdom. That's why the Lord is only coming for the elect as well too, because majority of our people here in America, they through. Okay, you meet a woman like this, she be playing hard to get whole time. She got multiple bodies, probably all kind of STDs. It's sickening. Okay, it's completely disgusting. But this is the reality that we are living in. And this is why it's better for brothers to just, stay single. All right, don't even worry about these women right now. It says, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 26, verse 8, a drunken woman and a gatherer abroad causeth great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. And you see these young women, okay, sometimes they don't even be of age, but they be out on the club scene. I remember when I used to work, you know, near the clubs in this little store I used to work at. And all the girls would come in there to grab, you know, to get stuff before they went to the clubs and stuff. I remember this one girl in particular. She came in there. She had this little ass skirt on, drunk as hell. You know, she probably was no more than 18, 19, drunk already. You know, and what she would do, what she was doing was she was, you know, at the register across from me. But as she's bending over the register trying to reach for, you know, pointing that stuff that she wanted, I guess her whole behind showing, booty cheeks hanging out, drawers showing, so they don't cover their own shame. Okay, these women and they're shameless. The daughters of Zion have become shameless. Okay, it says the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. And look at this individual right here. What she's saying. Let's bring it back. Look carefully at her eyes. You see that she's showing her whoredom. That's why she's telling you the story she did. These women was truthful. And told you all the wicked shit they've done, it'll blow your mind. Okay. Another thing too, if these women, if they had their body count written on their forehead, you would not approach majority of these women, and they'd be the prettiest ones that'd be the worst. Okay, the prettiest ones be in the triple digits. Okay, getting trains ran on them. This is wicked. It says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. And this is why, through the Spirit, bro, I don't want no daughter. Okay, I don't want no daughters. To hell with that. I would rather have all sons, but I really would rather be in the kingdom. Okay, but if it happened, I would rather have all sons. All right, because it's like it says, if thy daughter be shameless, and she's shameless. That's why she said we listen and we don't judge. That's why they do that whole thing. I've done a few videos on these women saying this type of stuff, and it's wickedness. You got women that's damn 18 and probably had over 20 abortions already. It's wickedness, bro. It's evil. This is why the Lord got to destroy a lot of our people. Okay. It says, keep her in straitly. You gotta. That's why fathers will be very, strict on their daughters. It says, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. And here in America, these women have liberty to be wicked, to be demons. It says, watch over an impotent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee. Don't marvel. Don't be surprised. You got to watch your daughters. You can't let them do what they want to do, because they're going to end up being pregnant in your house and not knowing who the daddy is. It says, she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. And this is what these young girls are doing. Okay. opening her mouth. She was 16, getting 3 trans ran on her in a week. Well, not even the same guys. It was 3 different guys each time. That's crazy. She's opening her mouth against every arrow. You know what a train is? I don't think I need to tell you, but just know it's somebody in every hole. Okay? So somebody was in her mouth. Somebody was in her. You get the picture. And this is what the scriptures say. The scriptures tell us this. She will open her mouth against as a thirsty traveler, like she dying of thirst, when he have found a fountain, and drank of every water near her. These women are drinking of men's waters. You know, when you swallow a man's seed, that's that man's DNA. It goes inside your body. It's inside your brain. It's DNA inside you. That's why these women, they have multiple personalities, split personalities, because you've been with too many men. I told a woman the other day, she said something about Jake, these niggas out here weird. I said, no, you women out here done been with two. I said, no, you bitches done been with too many niggas. That's the problem. Okay? A woman ain't supposed to, hey, we was going into the other day in the class. A woman, you get a woman, she's telling you about her ex. Bitch, you ain't supposed to have no ex. What? You see? This is a wicked and adulterous society, man. We got to be delivered out of here. All right? It says the grace of a wife. Oh, so I can bring that back. It says, by every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver, her vajayjay, against every arrow, penis. Okay? I want to make it plain so you understand how the seriousness of this. You got girls in high school getting trains ran on them. Middle school getting trains ran on them. This is wicked, man. But this is because we have fallen away. This place is not according to the way the Lord set it up. It's completely wicked. Okay? So BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI got to destroy this place. Let's close out with this right here. What's that? Jeremiah 6:16. Yeah. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 16. It says, thus saith Yahweh, stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way. Okay, ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. So the ancient ways was the right way. Okay, that was the right way. Okay, which when you go into it, goes into a damsel. A damsel was a young woman. Okay, sometimes 12 years old. You read about that with King David when they brought the damsel. And when you go into the blue letter, it said she was a damsel, but she was of 12 of the age. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. Okay. But the point is, Jake, they don't want to go back to the old ways. This is why you got niggas out here crying about, let me see. Look at this. It says, Mark chapter 5, verse 42. It says, and straightway the damsel arose and walked, and she was of the age of 12 years. And they were astonished with great astonishment. So this damsel was of the age of 12 years. And what does it say about a damsel in the field? Let me see. A damsel. I believe that's Deuteronomy. Slovakia, I spelled that wrong. Look at this. It says, Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel, meaning this woman was engaged. So in the ancient world, if a woman was young, when she got her cycle, she could have been engaged to another man. Okay? And that was for what? To keep away the whoredom. Because if not, she's going to be out here, Let me see if I can grab this too. Let me see. Bear with me 1 second. It says, oh man. Let me see. Father watcheth. Oh man, I can't even find that scripture. Let's see, maybe this is it right here. Look at this. It says, see, Ecclesiasticus, it's going to get a little loud, Salakia. Ecclesiastes chapter 42, verse 9, it says, the father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep. When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, when she got her cycle. It says, and being married, lest she be hated. So you got to marry your daughters off young, okay? Because the father can be dead asleep in the house, you know, not watching for his daughter, and she can be sneaking damn boys in the window, you know. She in there getting a train ran on in the other room while you in there sleeping. This is the reality. It says, in her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house, and having an husband, lest she should misbehave herself, and when she is married, lest she should be barren. You see? So a woman will misbehave herself by sleeping with other men in her father's house when she's 16 years old. You know, this is why they got married off young. This is just an example of why a woman got married off young. It says, keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter. That was a shameless daughter you just seen. That was an example of a shameless daughter. You got to keep a sure watch over her. It says, lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies, and a byword in the city, and a reproach among the people, and make thee ashamed before the multitude. And that's what happens. You know, these young girls out here, they make their fathers ashamed because of the stuff that they're doing. You know, these young girls be dealing with the father's friends, you know, behind their back. Okay, it's wicked, but this is what's promoted here in America. This is what is allowed when there's no father in the house, when there's no structure, no order. Behold not everybody's beauty, and sit not in the midst of women. For from garments cometh the moth, and from women wickedness. I knew this one woman. She was a virgin all the way up to like 18, 19. And she said when she got to a certain age, you know, when that whole Megan Thee Stallion shit came out with Hot Girl Summer and shit, she said she racked up like 8 bodies in one summer. I was like, damn. Damn, bro. But that's the reality here in America, bro. Like I said, this is an example why we married our daughters off young. Because you got married off to a man of understanding. It was usually an older man who already had substance, not a nigga that was still staying with his parents, you know. And she said her brother was 30 years old, still staying with the family. That's wicked. How you 30 years old still staying with your parents, man? This is why grown men supposed to, you know, leave the house, you know, because now you're sitting there watching your damn freaky video. It's all wicked, man. YAHAWASHI, y'all, got to destroy this place, and we can't wait for that day. Shalom, come and share all about the ball.